I was pretty terrified when I was asked to host the 2018 Billboard Music Awards. I kind of kept that pace of just being terrified up until we figured out the beginning, like the monologue thing I turned into a musical thing, and that kind of put me in my element. So then I felt good. But basically, before that happened, I was just, my big, goal was just not pass out on camera. So, because I was so nervous. Because it's funny, I don't get nervous singing, but I get very nervous speaking in front of people. That's weird. I don't know why. But then once I kind of conquered it, then they asked me to do it this year, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, that was fun. So it was a good time. I got to do music. I got to hang out with a lot of artists that were really cool. And it was just a really good show. And it ended up being fairly easy. So don't make it hard this year. So we know people liked last year's Billboard Music Awards opening, like with the whole medley thing we did, because people told me. So we thought, well, we'll do something maybe a little similar, but we're changing it up a little bit for 2019's award show. We can't do the same exact thing, so we're doing something a little different. But we think you'll like it, and if you don't, you can always just like re-watch last year's. We're pretty excited about this year's monologue. The whole team that kind of put last year's together. We're doing something a little different this year. It's similar but different, so I can't really tell you much more, but we're pretty excited. I'm stoked about it. I hope it works out. It's kind of funny because I was terrified last year because I was very nervous about it, but now that I'm not nervous at all this year because I've done it before, that kind of makes me nervous because I feel like you should be a little nervous, and I'm not really nervous about hosting this year just because it ended up being kind of easy and fairly fun. It's a lot of hard work, but it was a good time. I guess I'm a little nervous that I'm not nervous about it. What is wrong with me? I don't know, but that's my answer. My personal recipe for a great award show is great live music. Like, that's why I've tuned in since I was a kid. So, y'all are in for a treat this year because I've seen the list of performers and it's going to be a pretty stellar show. So I think that's the best part. I mean, winning awards is awesome, but honestly, like as an artist, it's more fun to get to perform and show off this music you love so much and let people be a part of that with you. It's just a really cool thing. And just to see all these artists that you probably would never see on the same stage in another place, at another tour or something. Like you don't usually see Post Malone and, Celine Dion in the same environment, you just don't see that. So it's kind of cool that the show represents that. I mean, personally, I'm a huge fan of Cardi B. I feel like she is getting recognized, which is awesome. Like, I don't feel like anybody's like underrated. She's like nailing it. Everybody loves her. She's hilarious, and she's like just herself, which is what you love. I think in an industry where people try and be something they're not, it's refreshing. But also, I feel like Shawn Mendes is pretty underrated. Like, he gets nominated a lot, but I don't know if he wins all the time, and he should. He's a really talented dude. You watch these amazing performances and it inspires you, especially artists watching, like it inspires you as an artist to do something different or try something new. And I love it. I just love to be entertained. That's my favorite part of the billboards. The difference between being at home and watching like in your jammers, which are pretty awesome because I love watching in my PJs, but the difference between being in the actual room, especially when BTS is invited, it is electric. Like the energy in the room with all these artists coming together in one place and all these fans in the room, like it's an electric kind of vibe, and it's cool. It's what you dream of when you're a kid, being a part of, and it happens, and then you're there and you're still pinching yourself.